Hey guys, what is up? My name is Kate. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, and in today's video, we are going to do a what sold video for 2 weeks of sales in May between the dates of May 4th through May 17th. My sales on Depop have been down, but my sales on Mercari have been up, and I have my fourth ever sale on Vinted, which is amazing. I really hope sales start picking up over there because it would drastically increase my monthly income if I was making steady sales on Vinted, because that would add a fifth platform to my catalog. Let's dive into these sales. I have a few really high dollar sales that I am so excited to share. So let's go.
Hey guys, excited to be back doing another What Sold video for you guys. I love doing my What Sold videos. Let's start off with this first sale on Mercari, which is this Free People Carmela printed oversized sheer whimsy goth maxi dress size small. In my description of this dress, I put the keywords flowy, festival, ruffle, baby doll, and dark romantic. I believe it was, I can't remember the exact price. This was something that I got at regular consignment. I traded in a few bins fines and then I got store credit. And so I put my cost of goods as $8 because that's how much I paid after my credit was applied and divided between everything that I bought at Uptown Cheapskate was where I got this. So cost of goods is $8 for this dress. It sold for $85.50, which is incredible. I listed it for 95 and I believe I ended up lowering the price and it sold for $85.50, which is such a high price. And I wasn't expecting it to sell for that much because it is a sheer dress, but apparently this style, the comps were around that $95 mark, which is incredible. And that makes my profit $77.40. And this only took 8 days to sell. How crazy is that? As you can see, I have 3 different stock photos for this dress. I always try to find stock photos for my listings. Yes, it does take extra time because I have to go onto Google and do a Google image search, but I do believe that it is worth those extra few minutes trying to get stock photos because it does show off the dress or whatever the clothing item is better than I can. I mean, just take a look at the photo that I had. Yeah, it's just, it's pretty, but it doesn't do any justice compared to the stock photos. Moving on now to this next sale on Mercari, which is this pair of Judy Blue dark wash stretchy distressed high rise boyfriend jeans size 20W. In my description, I put the keywords casual, everyday, comfy, flattering, curvy, and closet staple. I bought these actually from the Goodwill outlet for $4. They sold for $26.60, and that makes my profit $22.50, I believe. When it comes to these Mercari profits, I'm still kind of unsure because my Excel sheet is a mess when it comes to Mercari, but $22.50 is an estimated profit after fees and cost of goods. And this pair of jeans took 157 days to sell, so quite a while. But I did decide to buy these because the cost of goods was low. They were a boyfriend fit, so they weren't a skinny fit, and they were a larger size, a size 20W, which I believe is, I don't know the difference between size 20 and size 20W. If you know, comment down below. And then this last sale on Mercari is this Cynthia Rowley orange floral village print 100% linen button up shirt size large. In my description, I put the keywords breathable, lightweight, short sleeve, summer, unique, vacation, and beach. It says on my sheet that I paid $6, but I feel like I paid probably around $5, but I'm going based off of what I put when I wrote down my information when I listed this shirt. So my cost of goods is $6 and it sold for $20, which was an offer that I received, making my profit $13.90. And this shirt took 78 days to sell. I picked up this shirt at a thrift store in Texas when I was on vacation. I did buy this shirt because it is 100% linen, which is a really good factor, especially this time of year when linen sells well. And I also loved the print, I thought it was very unique. And so, yeah, glad I picked this up. Would definitely pick this up again. Moving on now to Depop, we only have one sale. So that's kind of depressing, but I'm okay with that because there was like 3 or 4 days where I was out of town. So I had less of an opportunity to sell stuff for those 3 to 4 days. This is a new Barbie times Azazi taupe chiffon ruffle column dress with leg slit, size 4, new with tags. And then I got this description and paragraph directly from Azazi's website. In my description, I put the key words: prom, bridesmaid, hoko, homecoming, neutral, cute, feminine, girly, pageant, and event. I have been not using stock photos in my Depop listings because I know that your account can be banned and taken down if you use stock photos. But I forgot to remove this one because it was in the middle of my photos. But it was a very, very pretty dress. I paid $10 for this dress at a Desert Industries thrift store. I had it listed for 45. I did accept a $35 offer because Depop's fees are so low. That makes my profit $23.40, and this only took 46 days to sell. The reason I got this was because, first of all, I've sold a Zazi, I believe, one other time, and actually the other time I sold a Zazi was on Depop, but this was new with tags and it was also a collab with Barbie, so I had to look it up. And when I looked comps for Barbie times a Zazi new with tags dresses on eBay, there were like two sold comps for around $45, and so that is why I decided to pick this up, and I'm glad I did because I got more than a $20 profit from this in less than 90 days. So I'm very happy with that. And then I actually do have one sale on Vinted, which I'm excited to tell you guys about. This is a Code& Co. Taupe brown organic cotton eco outdoor lightweight short skirt size medium. In my description, I put the keywords. Did I not put any keywords? That's weird. The way that it's spaced out here is very odd. Maybe I didn't have any keywords, or maybe when I was cross listing, something got amiss. But I got this at the Goodwill outlet for $1.50. It sold for $20, making my profit $18.50. Vinted doesn't have any fees. The buyer has to pay the cost of the item, and then subtotal for the buyer is like, however, it's like usually like a dollar plus something cents more, and then they have to pay for shipping. But basically, you get all your all your profit. Vinted doesn't take any fees, so that's great. This did take 187 days to sell, so quite a while. Like I said, I got this at the bins, but I was thrifting at Savers a couple months ago and I actually came across this exact same skirt, same color, and I believe it was actually the same size too. And I didn't buy it because this skirt, I already had the skirt and it hadn't sold. But I think we're in the right season now where brands like Title Nine and Tote& and Co. are starting to sell even their more or less substantial pieces. So yeah, I would pick this up again for only $1.50. And yeah, it also had nice material makeup such as organic cotton and tencel. Let's move on now to eBay, where I sold this Free People Beach pastel purple Haley waffle knit oversized sweater, size medium. I got this great stock photo, and in my description, I put the keywords loungewear, minimalist, and casual. Now, this particular Free People set, I've actually sold the top, a cream top before that I got at the bins for like $40. Now, I found two of these sets, a pink one and a purple one, when I was at a consignment shop. And after my trade in, I only had to pay like a small amount out of pocket. And these were both at like, both of the sets were marked at $22 each. And then I looked up comps on eBay and they were selling for around $60 to $80 for each set. And so I was really excited about that. And of course, I bought them to resell because even if I didn't have that store credit, flipping $22 into $60 plus is a pretty good flip. I paid $8 for these after my converted cost of goods. They sold for $62, which I believe was an offer that I sent out, making my profit $39.12. And this only took 10 days to sell. I honestly couldn't believe that I found two of these sets, right? Whoever sold these two sets to Uptown Cheapskate was a bad move on their part because they could have sold them online for a good amount and pretty quickly. Uptown Cheapskate probably gave them the tiniest amount back. Next sale I wanted to go through with you guys is this. This is a vintage purple, colorful embroidered Mexican short sleeve sundress, size medium. In my description, I put the keywords multicolor summer, peasant, Johnny Was vibes, festival, lightweight, and knee length. I did say that it reminded me, or I said Johnny Was vibes because it looks like something that Johnny Was would make. And so when I have a clothing piece that isn't from a brand, but it reminds me of that brand, I'll put the brand and then I'll put vibes after as to not lead the buyer in astray because sometimes I see people's listings and they'll have a brand, they'll have it marked as one brand, and then in their description, they'll say it's not actually this brand. It's kind of annoying. But I got this at the Goodwill outlet for $2. It sold for my full asking price of $22, which is really good, making my profit $14.72. This did take 129 days to sell, though, but we are just now in the season where dresses are selling. So it makes sense that through the winter months, this did not sell. This next sale, you guys, is crazy because I sold this on eBay. And then before I had the chance to delist it on all of my other platforms, Poshmark, it sold on Poshmark for actually $31. So it sold for less over there. But since eBay will dock you, like your account will get negative points against it for canceling an order. I canceled the Poshmark order, and the Poshmark order sold after this Sino shirt had already sold. But it's kind of crazy how that happens, how one thing will sell, and then within 24 hours, it'll sell on a different website, even though it's been months that the item has been listed. That's kind of crazy to me. But this is a Sino white multicolor floral whimsical cotton button-up long sleeve shirt size medium. In my description, I put the keywords lightweight, colorful, fun, spring, summer vacation, feminine, festival, and breathable. I bought this also in Texas for $5. It sold for my full asking price of $35, making my profit $21.60. And this took 79 days to sell. This is my third time ever selling a Sino shirt. And let me tell you guys, it is one of my favorite brands to resell, one of my favorite brands just overall. Like it doesn't sell for a ton, but it sells relatively quickly. And it's just kind of one of those brands that is under the radar. It's a very good mid-tier bread and butter brand. So really happy about this sale. And I'm going to keep an eye out for Sino. I've only ever found it 3 times, and all 3 times I picked it up and it sold really quickly. This is a Lauren Ralph Lauren, which I abbreviated to LRL, off-white knit, 100% mercerized cotton, coastal beachy oversized sweater, size medium. In my description, I put the key words swimsuit cover up, resort wear, soft vacation, thick, breathable, long sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, and drop shoulder. I wasn't sure. I put 3/4 sleeve as well as long sleeve because I wasn't sure if this was long sleeve or 3/4 sleeve. So I made sure to include both. I paid $3 for this at a thrift store 4 hours away from me. We were visiting family, and so I can't remember the name of the a thrift store, but it was only $3. It sold for $24, making my profit $15.24. But this did take 303 days to sell. The reason I bought it was because I thought it was very beachy and pretty, and that going along with, the reputable Lauren Ralph Lauren brand, I did decide to buy it. This sale, you guys, I can't remember if I talked about this sale in my recent Ship With Me, but this is a My Little Pony 1984 Hasbro G1 Pink Glow in Show Dazzle Glow Unicorn. And in my description, I put the keywords nostalgia, kidcore, childhood, 80s, and cutie mark. If you don't know what a cutie mark is, it's like the printed thing on the back of the pony's side. It's called a cutie mark. So for some reason, I thought that would be a good keyword. I got this for $0. This was at my husband's grandparents' house in the playroom. It was from the 80s. It had been passed down. Uh, you know, my husband's grandpa now has great grandkids. My daughter, was asking about this toy. I wouldn't let her play with it because it was so valuable, but this thing was actually in pretty good condition for how old it was and for how many kids have played with it. And this particular model of My Little Pony was worth a lot. So my cost of goods is $0, but it sold for $60. I think I originally had it listed for 80 and then I sent out a $60 offer, making my profit $46.65. And this took 133 days to sell. It had lots of interest. I could have sold it faster, but I wanted to get a specific amount for it. This is a pure Jill, which is a line from J Jill, blue fit out and about pullover hoodie, half zip athleisure jacket size 3X. In my description, I put the keywords active fitness, outdoor athletic, running, and casual. And I did note in my description that along the drawstring along the hood had a few knots in it. I didn't notice until I got home, but there were these 3 knots on the drawstring that I could not get out, and I decided it wasn't worth my time trying more and more to get them unknotted. But despite that, you guys, I paid $6 for this, okay? And it sold for $28, my full asking price. So maybe I underpriced it, but I didn't want to list it too high because it had those knots. And then that makes my profit $15.28. But this only took 2 days to sell. I was at the thrift store a couple of weeks ago and I went to the plus size section and I found so many J. Jill plus size pieces, which is a definite bolo. J. Jill and their non plus size pieces is a kind of a, I don't know, I have a love hate relationship with J. Jill and their smaller sizes, but J. Jill in their larger sizes can do really, really well for sell for bread and butter pricing, and this was a more substantial piece. So I'm really happy about that sale. And now, you guys, okay, ready for this sale? This sale is amazing. This is a vintage Missoni orange purple knit wide leg stretchy boho high rise pants size medium. In my description, I put the keywords bohemian, comfy, casual, hippie, 70s inspired, colorful, beachy, travel, vacation, lounge, and party. I believe these pants were marked as a size 46, which is an Italian size. And I said that that converts to a US size large, but I said that the pants measure as a size medium. So that's what I listed them as. I got these at the Goodwill outlet. And if you didn't watch my most recent ship with me, I also talked about a few other things that I got that day. I got a Filson laptop bag, which I will not be talking about in this video, but that sold for $250. So I've well made my money back from that trip. But I only paid $2 for these. They sold for $130 on an international sale, making my profit $96.80. And these took 137 days to sell. I have another Missoni item listed in my stores, but it is just a plain black dress, wool blend, and it has to be a specific piece in designer brands to do well. And then I sold this skirt, which I had to tell you guys about because this was a completely style-based pickup, but it sold like I knew it would. This is a Karen Kane cream brown, black tiered tie-dye fairy grunge festival maxi skirt size extra large. In my description, I put the keywords whimsy goth, vintage, unique, flowy, modest, boho, and bohemian. I bought this at a Deseret Industries thrift store for $6. It sold for $24, making my profit $12.24. And this only took 42 days to sell. The reason I got this dress was because although Karen Kane retails for a good amount, it is not really a good brand to resell. But this was tiered. It had a really pretty kind of like, I should have put forest. That would have been another good keyword, but it had a really pretty like fairy grunge, whimsy goth aesthetic to it. I liked the darker colored tie-dye, and I could put in keywords like festival. I just knew that this would sell, and I was right. So I would definitely pick that up again, and I highly recommend picking up tiered maxi length skirts that have other factors right now because they have been selling like hotcakes for me. And then last 2 sales I wanted to go through with you guys on eBay is this swimsuit. This is a Speedo purple, black, white, padded, sporty, active, comfy, one piece swimsuit size 8. In my description, I put the keywords swim, swimming, stretchy pool, lake, beach, and vacation. This is actually a swimsuit I bought for myself. I was sourcing one day and I happened to be in the swimsuit section because I wanted to look for a few swimsuits to wear to Hawaii, and my torso was too long for all of them, unfortunately. So I decided to just list them to try to recoup my money. I paid $5 with this, like I said, with not the intention to resell it. But when it didn't fit, I listed it for $22. It sold for my full asking price, making my profit $11.72. And this only sold in 28 days. So I'm not complaining about that, right? Like something I didn't plan on reselling, but this was in pretty good condition. And Speedo can actually sell for bread and butter pricing if you get a substantial enough piece and you get it for a low cost of goods. And then last sale on eBay is this Ralph Lauren red colorful 100% linen floral whimsical shirt size 2X. In my description, I put the keywords lightweight summer, tropical beach, and artsy. I paid $3.50 for this at a state sale that I very, very recently went to. And this sold for $24, my full asking price, making my profit $14.74. And this only took 16 days to sell. The reason I picked this shirt up in the first place was because it was very colorful and artsy and it was a size 2X. But when I got home, I realized it was also 100% linen. So that was also a really, really good factor. One of the reasons I attribute its selling. All right, let's finish off with Poshmark, good old Poshmark. I make steady sales on Poshmark. I'm not complaining. I haven't experienced any problems with the new Poshmark rules yet. Knocking on wood, hoping that I don't end up dealing with that. I know a lot of people have run into problems with that. I use Prime Lister to share my listings and stuff. And so I wonder if specific Poshmark automation tools are flagging Poshmark's bots more than others. But anyway, crossing my fingers that I stay in the clear for a while. This is a Hollister cream brown ultra high rise patchwork elastic waist sweatpants size small. In my description, I put the keywords casual, comfy, sporty, trendy, soft, loungewear, and neutral. This was only $1 at this thrift store. They have like a few clear plastic bins where everything is discounted to $1. Picked this one up for $1, but I ended up throwing one thing away that I also got in that thrift trip. So I put my cost of goods as $2 because technically I had to take a loss. It sold for $20, making my profit $14. And this took 99 days to sell. Hollister isn't really a brand that I resell that often, but this was a really cute patchwork pair of pants and anything patchwork. Whenever you can include the keyword patchwork, it definitely is a really good keyword to have in there because it can help your item to sell really well. This next sale is this Texas Boot Company brown leather Western Rodeo outdoor cowboy boots size 10D. In my description, I put the keywords oil resistant, grunge, Texas. I don't know why I put Texas because that's the name of the company, but I also put country, casual, and quality. I bought these at one of my favorite thrift stores for $10. They sold for $40, which was, I think, my full asking price, making my profit $22. And these only took 8 days to sell. And unfortunately, I got a message on Poshmark, which I noticed a day later after it had been sent. And the person was like, "Oh, I didn't realize these were men's. I want to cancel my order." But by the time I saw her message, I'd already shipped these out. But I responded to her in less than 24 hours or like right at that 24-hour mark. So I don't think I was in the wrong. But I told her that, you know, she can also make a cancel request. I don't have to make a cancel request. But she said that Poshmark didn't allow her to cancel the sale. So I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do with these. Maybe she'll resell them. I feel bad for her, but like I said, right, I'm not constantly checking Poshmark, seeing if I get notifications, right? I have a family too. I do this part-time, so unfortunate for her, but glad that I made $22 off of that. I love picking up cowboy boots in good condition. $10 is kind of the highest I'll go unless it's like a really good boot company that I know will sell for a specific amount. Next, we have a bundle. This is the first thing in the bundle is this bundle. So it's a bundle in a bundle. This is a vintage Banana Republic bundle of two low-rise boot cut flare jeans, size 6. In my description, I put the keywords 90s Y2K, casual, light wash, medium wash, neutral, and cute. I paid $4 for these at the Goodwill outlet. And if you separate how much my bundle sold for into two different amounts, this specific item in the bundle, or this bundle within the bundle sold for $23, making my profit $14.40. These did take 315 days to sell. I actually bought these originally for myself at the Goodwill outlet, and then I was lazy and I never tried them on, so I just listed them. But yeah, glad that they sold in this bundle. And then the other thing that sold in this bundle is this pair of Ariat dark wash mid-rise stretch ivy stackable straight leg low rise jeans, size 30 long. And then I got this paragraph and information directly from Ariat's website. And then in my own keywords, I put the keywords country, casual rodeo, cowgirl, everyday, and hall girl. I paid $7 for these at a regular thrift store. They sold for $23, making my profit $11.40. And these took 101 days. I don't come across Ariat jeans very often, but I usually pick them up because they're a pretty good bread and butter pair of jeans. All right, guys, and like I mentioned in my last Wetzel video, I sold 2 pairs of Reef sandals, and I was hoping that this third pair would sell in this video, and I was right. This is a pair of Reef navy slingback rubber outdoor water vista slip-on platform sandals size 9. Got this information from, I believe it was Reef's website directly. And then my own keywords, I put beach, travel, lightweight, waterproof, casual, and neutral. This third pair of Reef sandals was a little bit different. It had this like whiteness in the insole, and I don't know if that was like dust or whatever, but I tried cleaning it off several times and I could not get it off. But it was very clear to see in the photos. So in my description, I just put all signs of wear pictured, which was true. I paid $5 for these. They sold for $25, making my profit $15. And these only took 4 days. It's kind of funny. I've been getting ads on Facebook for Reef sandals. And I think it's because I listed 3 pairs of Reef sandals. And my phone is listening to me and my phone is watching me. So, yeah, but Reef is definitely a below pair of sandals to sell right now. This next thing that I sold is another one of those plus size J. Jill pieces that I recently found at the thrift store, just like that J. Jill blue jacket. This is a J. Jill black white geometric 3/4 sleeve stretchy going out shirt size 3X. In my description, I put the keywords flowy, feminine, business casual, office mature, and modest. Paid $5 for this shirt, sold for $22, which technically was my full asking price. I had it listed for 25. Prime Lister sent out a discount, so it sold for 22, making my profit $12.60. And this only took 2 days to sell. So really incredible. Happy about that. I'm telling you guys, J. Jill in the plus sizes is gold. And then you can see right here the Sino shirt that I had to cancel. But this next sale is this pair of new Vans red plaid T-strap Mary Jane preppy style 93 tennis shoes size 8. In my description, I put the keywords casual flats school every day. I paid $25 for these at Ross, including tax and everything. They sold for $67, which was the discounted price Prime Lister sent out. They were originally listed for 75. That makes my profit $28.60. And these only took 46 days to sell. I did retail arbitrage a few months ago, and these caught my eye because I remember coming across a few listings from Vans that are this T-strap style, and it's a pretty desirable style. And these were technically new without box because they were being sold at Ross and had no signs of wear. So nice little profit of $28.60, right? Happy about that. I also sold this in a very timely manner. This is a vintage Chico's colorful floral embroidered sequins whimsical denim jacket size 16. In my style tags, I put fairy grunge layering, boho bohemian, gypsy artsy. I meant to put art to wear, but looks like it auto corrected to artsy to wear and wearable art. I bought this at a thrift store for $5. I listed it for 35. I got a $25 offer very, very quickly on, which I accepted, making my profit $15. And this only took 2 days to sell. The great thing about this jacket was that it was a larger size. Chico's size 3 and up is the best Chico's to get, but this was also very, very beautiful. It was embroidered and like sparkly. It was very, very unique. So, really happy about that sale. And I knew it would be a good pickup, and my hunch was correct because it only took 2 days to sell, which is amazing. And then I wanted to show you guys this sale because this is a style-based pickup, kind of like that Karen Kane skirt. This one looks a little bit different, but I knew I could still put the keywords like festival, and it was maxi length, which inherently adds value to skirts. This is a CNB, short for Christopher and Banks, blue, green, whimsy goth, fairy grunge, tier, boho, festival maxi skirt, size extra large. In my description, I put the keywords flowy chiffon, elastic waist, modest, unique, and hippie. Every time I've been going thrifting now, I've been checking the skirt section and just like skimming the bottom to check for longer length skirts. And then I'll look at the longer length skirt. And if it has the factors that I'm looking for, which is maxi length, very cute pattern, a tier or multiple tiers, and other factors like the size, I will pick it up. I paid $3 for this. It sold for $20, which was an offer that I accepted, making my profit $13. And this only took 38 days to sell. Really pleased with that. And then two more sales, you guys. So this sale is so amazing. This sold in 1 hour. I was still listing stuff. I was still like batch listing stuff when I got this offer come through. This is a pair of Free People brown leather preppy academia lug sole Lyra chunky loafers size 8. And then I got this information directly from Free People's website in my description. And my own keywords, I put office, college, dark academia, and old money. I have never found a pair of Free People shoes before out in the wild, and the fact that it was this pair of Free People boots, very, very, very trendy pair of shoes. They're chunky, they're brown, they're loafers. I mean, these were incredible. Such a good find. I listed these for $75 originally. I did pay 10 at the thrift store, and then I accepted a $64 offer because they offered me that in like an hour. So I accepted that, making my profit $41.20. And it shows on my Excel sheet 0 days, 0 days to sell. And then last but not least sale, we have this Carhartt women's black denim rugged. I did notice that I spelled this incorrectly while it was still listed, but I was too lazy to change it because it already had a ton of likes. So I knew that my typo wasn't that big of a deal. And then flex twill double front bib overall size medium. Got this description directly from Carhartt's website. And it's crazy because Carhartt overalls don't even really retail for like a ton, but they resell very, very well. The sell-through rate is really good. And then in my style tags, I put outdoor, grunge, core, versatile, and casual. I also got this pair of overalls, the same place I got those two Free People Haley sets and that Free People dress that we talked about earlier that sold on Mercari for like $85. So that was a really good Uptown Cheapskate visit. But my cost of goods for this was $10, sold for $45, my full asking price, making my profit $26. And this only took 10 days to sell. So, really, really good. I made a lot of higher dollar sales for these past 2 weeks, and I'm really happy about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Those are all of the sales. I really hope that you enjoyed or, just found it informative. Turn me on in the background. I personally love watching other people's what sold videos because it gives me an idea of what to pick up when I'm outsourcing. I feel like there's two types of customers when it comes to the secondhand market. There are people that aren't going to be using the trendy keywords, right? They'll put in keywords maybe like casual, and then they'll put the color, and then they'll put maybe V-neck or 3/4 sleeve. And then there are the people that are shopping in the secondhand market that are looking for those trendy keywords like whimsy goth, cottagecore, stuff like that. And it's important to have both of those keywords in your listing. So I always do try to include all my keywords in when I go through every listing that sold because I'm hoping to help you guys, right? Share the wealth. If you have any great keywords that you have been using lately that have been working for you, please let me know down below. I kind of word vomit in my listings, but I do use keywords that actually fit the listing, right? I'm not going to have a white t-shirt and then put goth, right? I always try to make sure that my keywords, although there are a ton of them, do actually fit the description and work with the item that I'm selling. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully. Bye.